Welcome to another session of Statistics and Probability. This is your teacher, John Glenn S. Almario. Today we will be discussing exploring more elements in hypothesis testing. After going through this lesson, you are expected to understand the concept of type 1 and type 2 error, connect error to the process of hypothesis testing, locate critical values under the normal curve, determine critical values for hypothesis testing, and make decision about the null hypothesis. Now, let's recall our previous lesson. What is hypothesis testing? It is a decision-making process for evaluating claims about a population based on the characteristics of a sample purportedly coming from that population. What is null hypothesis? It is a statement that there is no difference between a parameter and a specific value denoted by H sub O. Ito yung type ng testing na walang pinagkaiba yung parameter at yung specific value. And then, what is alternative hypothesis? It is a statement that there is a difference between a parameter and a specific value. So, ito namang alternative hypothesis, ito yung may pinagkaiba. Denoted by H sub 1. Now, here are the four possible outcomes in decision making. Ngayon, when we are talking about hypothesis, we don't know if we will accept it or we will reject it because sometimes errors we will commit errors. And what are those errors? So, eto yung table para mag-guide tayo. Ngayon, paano ba to binabasa? Ganito po. When our null hypothesis, H sub O, is true, and then we reject it, we are committing a type 1 error. Bakit? Kasi alam mo ng totoo, reject mo pa. So, therefore, you are committing a type 1 error. However, if you accept the null hypothesis, therefore, you are making a correct decision. Okay? Very good. Again, if you reject the null hypothesis when it is true, you are committing a type 1 error. However, if you accept the null hypothesis that is true, then you are making a correct decision. Okay? Good. How about if the null hypothesis is false? Therefore, if you reject the null hypothesis when it is false, you are making a correct decision. However, if you accept the null hypothesis that is false, you are committing a type 2 error. Now, yun yung dalawang klase ng error, the type 1 and the type 2. The type 1 error occurs when the hypothesis is true but rejected. And on the other hand, type 2 error, it occurs when the hypothesis is false but accepted. So, naunawaan ba? So, ganito lang yan, para madaling yung matandaan. Type 1 error, kapag totoo pero hindi mo tinanggap. Pero pag type 2, kasinungalingan pero tinatanggap mo. Kuha ba? Okay, good. Now, here are the notations for the errors, types of errors. Ayan. So, the error in decision, ito yun, di ba? We're committing a type 1 error when we reject a true null hypothesis. The probability of doing this is called alpha. Ayan. So, alpha. Of course, kaya nga tayo may margin of error. Dito natin yan ini-imply sa alpha. But, paano naman kapag if I accept a false null hypothesis? When we accept a false null hypothesis, we are committing a type 2 error. Ang probability naman, i-denote natin yung probability na yon. It is noted by the variable beta. So, dito sa type 1, alpha, dito naman ay sa type 2 ay beta. Now, when we make a correct decision on this side of the table, we accept a true null hypothesis. So, this is type A or the correct decision. Now, the probability of getting that is of course 1 minus alpha. Ima-minus natin yung probability na magkakakomit tayo ng type 1 error. Kaya ito siya, 1 minus alpha. On the other hand, din naman sa kabila, we reject a false null hypothesis. So, Beta yon. I mean, 1 minus beta. Bakit? Kasi ibabawas natin yung probability na magko-commit tayo ng type 2 error. Kaya ito siya, 1 minus beta. So, nakuha ba? Okay, good. Now, alam ko na encounter na natin to before, the critical values. We have here, din naman ngayon, dati kasi isa lang yung diniscuss ko sa inyo. We have the what? The 1.64, 1.96, and the 2.58. So, sa mga nauna kong lesson, ito yung mga in-explain ko sa inyo. Eh sir, bakit nagkaroon ng ganito, ng one-tailed? Kasi, if you could recall, sa ating previous lesson, meron tayong dalawang klaseng testing. Either directional or non-directional. Kapag non-directional, that is two-tailed. Kapag naman directional, one-tailed. Again, non-directional, two-tailed. Directional, one-tailed. At kapag nagbabago yung type na yun, yung type ng testing natin ngayon, nagbabago rin yung critical value. So, dito sa 90%, kapag two-tailed, 1.64 siya, positive and negative. Kapag naman one-tailed na lang siya, positive negative 1.28 na lang siya. Kapag naman 95% yung confidence level natin, 1.96 plus minus. Kapag naman one-tailed na lang, 1.645 positive negative tayo. Kapag naman 99% confidence level at two-tailed, that is 2.58 positive negative. Kapag naman one-tailed, positive negative 2.33. Ayan. So, ito yung table ha. I hope mag-guide kayo nito. Paano naman sir yung values ng alpha? So, ito na siya. So, yung alpha natin, ito siya. Kapag 90%, ganito lang ang technique dyan para mas madaling matandaan. Yung alpha is, makukuha natin yan, 1 minus the confidence level. So, ito, 1 minus 0.9 is 0.1. Since sa one-tailed, kapag naman two-tailed, hatiin mo lang sa dalawa. Kalahati nitong 0.1 ay 0.05. Ayan, very good. Kapag naman 95%, 1 minus 0.95 is 0.05. Kapag hinati mo to sa dalawa, 0.025. Very good. Now, kapag naman 99%, 1 minus 0.99 is 0.01. Kapag hinati mo pa yung 0.01, magiging 0.005. Kuha ba? Okay, good. Now, here's the graphical representation of analyzing errors for two-tailed. As you could see here, ito yung ating critical value na Z. Ito yun. Ito yung dalawa. Yung mga critical values natin, positive, negative. So, etong region na to, ito yung ating alpha over 2. So, regardless if it is 90, 95, or 99, halimbawa, ito yun eh. Kung yung alpha natin ay, halimbawa, ito yung 90, 95, or 99. Ayan yun. Dito yon, dito siya magpo-fall. Etong parte na to, ang tawag dito ay accepted region. Bakit siya naging accepted region? Kasi sa tandaan nyo, when we're dealing with hypothesis testing, we are testing it if the claim is true or not. So we are testing it not by word but by calculating it. We are using the normal curve. So kapag may susunod makaka-encounter, papakita ko sa inyo how it's done, pero sa ngayon papakita ko muna yung representation via normal curve. So etong part na to, etong shaded part, ito yung ating rejected region kung nasaan yung ating alpha over 2. Okay? Ayan. So dito ito kapag two-tailed. Remember, yung Z natin, negative and positive Z, ito yung ating critical value. Yung accepted region, ito yung walang shade. Yung rejected region, yun yung may shade. Kuha ba? Okay, good. Now, for the left-tailed, ito naman siya. Ayan. So, same lang din ng kanina. Ito naman ngayon yung alpha. Bakit alpha na lang? Kasi hindi na natin siya hinati sa dalawa. So, if you could recall earlier, hinati natin sa dalawa yung alpha. Kasi two-tailed. Ngayon, isa na lang siya. Okay? Okay, good. Ito namang shaded again, yung shaded part, yun yung ating rejected region. Yung non-shaded part, yun yung ating accepted region. This is bounded by the Z-score. Ano Z-score yun? Yung critical value. Again, this is for left-tailed. Paano naman kapag right-tailed? Ayan. So, kapag right-tailed, parang flip lang natin siya vertically. Ayan. Ayan. We just rotated it along the y-axis. Ayan. So, binaliktad lang. Ayan, ayun, very good. So, nakita na yung pinakaiba. Ayan. So, ito again, ito yung ating alpha. the rejected region, this is the accepted region, and this is our critical value. So, kuha ba? Okay, good. Now, to recap what we have just learned, ito yung 4 possible outcomes in decision making. Again, when the null hypothesis is true and we reject it, we are committing a type 1 error. Kapag naman inaccept natin, correct decision. Kapag naman ang null hypothesis natin ay false and we rejected it, we are committing a correct decision. Otherwise, it is a type 2 error. And don't forget the critical values for two-tailed and one-tailed. Ito siya. For 90, we have 1.64 and 1.28. Pag 95%, 1.96 and 1.645. Kapag naman 99, 2.58 and 2.53 or 2.33, sorry. Kapag naman alpha values, minus, kung ano lang to, minus nyo lang, ito makukuha nyo. Then, pagdating dito, divide nyo sa 2, okay? Ayan, very good. So, kuha ba? Practice tayo.
Get ready for the next battle.
So, ayan. So, eto, we will just, for the practice session, we will just state whether the statement is true or false. Kaya wag na nating pagtagalin, simulan na natin. Total, true or false lang naman. Unang-una, type 1 error occurs when the hypothesis is true but rejected. Is it true or false? It is true. Why? Otherwise, kapag inaccept mo yung, kapag yung hypothesis natin is true, pero inaccept natin, we will be making a correct decision. Ayan, i-check nyo na lang dun sa decision-making table. Okay, good. Number 2, if H sub O is false and we accept it, we make a correct decision. Is it true or false? It is false. Ayan, very good. So, nakukuha na nyo na. Next, critical values are the same for two-tailed and one-tailed test. It is false. Very good. Magkaiba siya, syempre. Kaya, kung mapapansin nyo kanina doon sa table, yung gagamit nating critical values for two-tailed is different from the one-tailed. Ayan, very good. Next, 4. When alpha is equals to 0.05, we will use a 95% confidence level. Ayan. So, is it true? Yes, it is true. Ayan. Huwag yung kalimutan yan, ha? Ayan. So, regardless kung, sir, wala naman nakalagay kung left-tailed or right-tailed. Paano natin malalaman kung left-tailed or right-tailed? Ayun, very good. Malalaman natin kung left-tailed or right-tailed or directional or non-directional kung may alpha over 2 rito. Ayan. Regardless if left-tailed or right-tailed, still, hindi mababago ito. Paano yun, sir, kapag two-tailed? Ayan. Kapag two-tailed, may alpha over 2 yan. May divided by 2 yan. Okay ba? Ayan. Very good. Na-recall. Next. A critical value of positive negative 1.645 must be used if we have a two-tailed test at 90% confidence. Is it true or false? It is false. Bakit? Ano ba dapat ang critical value na ginagamit natin kapag two-tailed test at 90% confidence level? Very good. That is 1 point or positive negative 1.28. Ayan. Very good. So, nakuha ba? Okay. Nakuha lahat. Very good. Thanks for watching my video lesson. Again, this is John Lennon Salmario saying, remember, trust the process. Bye guys. See you soon.